Hi, this is Mato. Welcome to my online chess lecture. In this video, I will show you a game between Magnus Carlsen and Sergey Karjakin. This is a game from World Chess Championship match that was played in New York in 2016. Magnus Carlsen had white pieces and he started with d4. Sergey Karjakin played knight to f6, knight to f3, d5, white to move. Carlsen played e3. This is a kind of a surprise move, not something that Carlsen normally plays. The most played move in this position is c4, also considered to be the best. e3, going for call opening. e6, bishop to d3, c5, white move. There are two main moves in this position, c3 and b3. Both aimed to meet c4. For example, if white castles kingside, then c4, forcing bishop to go to e2. So most of the time, white meets this threat with c3 or b3. In this game, Carlsen played b3. This is known as Zuckertod goal. Bishop to e7, and both players castle kingside. Bishop to b2, b6, d takes on c5, choosing less known variation. Knight from b to d2, c4, and knight to e5 are the three most played moves. d takes on c5, bishop takes on c5, pawn takes pawn was also possible. Knight from b to d2, bishop to b7, queen to e2, knight from b to d7. White to move. White can open the game with e4 or c4. Carlsen played c4. d takes on c4, knight takes on c4, queen to e7. 12 moves have been played and Karjakin managed well to meet Carlsen's opening surprise. a3 intending b4, a5. But now white knight can jump to b5. Knight to d4, rook from f to d8, rook from f to d1, rook a to c8, rook from a to c1, knight to f8, queen to e1. It looks like that Carlsen is not sure how to make a progress. Knight to g6, bishop to f1. Again, Carlsen is just waiting. Knight to g4, knight to b5, black to move, bishop to c6 was played. Even better is queen to g5, there is no knight on f3 to disturb the queen. Bishop to c6 was played, a4, bishop to d5. Did you know that in some languages, when they capture a piece, they say eat, like pawn eats pawn? It looks like that Carlsen and Karjakin had a good breakfast. They are not eating each other pieces yet. All the pieces are still on the board. Isn't that interesting? Bishop to d4, and finally a capture. Bishop takes on c4, rook takes on c4, bishop takes on d4, rook takes on d4, rook takes on c4. White to move. How would you capture the rook on c4? Carlsen captured with pawn, damaging his pawn structure. Better was rook takes on c4 or even bishop takes on c4, but he wants to play bishop to g2. So perhaps then rook takes on c4 should have been seriously considered. b takes on c4, making his pawn on a4 very weak. You will see how important is this later on in the game. Knight to f6, queen to d2, rook to b8, g3 intending bishop to g2, knight to e5, bishop to g2, h6, f4, knight from e to d7, knight to a7, queen to a3, attacking the pawn on a4, knight to c6, attacking the rook, rook to f8, h3, black to move. You can see that black can take the pawn on a4, but Karjakin is not in a hurry. He played knight to c5. If queen takes on a4, queen to b2, and after knight to c5, queen takes on b6. So Karjakin played knight to c5. King to h2, knight takes on a4, and black is a pawn up. Rook to d8. e4 looks like a good move, intending e5 of course, chasing the knight. Rook to d8 was played. g6, queen to d4 attacking the knight, king to g7. At this stage Carlsen is low on time and plays c5. Beta was rook to d7, and if knight to c5, rook to a7. Carlsen played c5, and this is a blunder. He missed something in his calculations. If knight takes on c5, then rook takes on f8, king takes on f8, queen takes on f6. And if queen takes on c5, queen takes on a4, rook takes on d8, knight takes on d8. This is what he had in mind. Karjakin played the best move. Rook takes rook. Knight takes rook, and now knight takes on c5. Look at these two pawns. If black can exchange queens now, he would win easily with two pawns on the queen side. Queen to d6, and now Karjakin goes wrong with queen to d3. Beta was queen to a4, and if queen takes on b6, then knight on c to d7. Black is better. We have queen to d3. Queen to d3 is a blunder. He missed white's next move. What is the best move for white in this position? The move is knight takes on e6 check. Karjakin missed this move. If knight takes knight, then queen takes queen. So Karjakin captured with the pawn. Queen to e7 check, king to g8, queen takes on f6. Black to move. What is the best move for black in this position? Karjakin played a4. If queen to f5, then queen to d8 check, queen to f8, queen takes on b6. a4 was played. Now e5. It is a quite tricky position. Queen to d7 was played, allowing queen takes pawn on g6, and this is what Carlsen played. Check. Queen to g7, queen to e8 check, queen to f8, queen to c6, queen to d8, f5. Black to move. What is the best move for black in this position? Karjakin played the best move, a3. If pawn takes pawn, then pawn takes pawn, and white bishop would come to life, and white would win the game. a3 was played. F takes on e6. White is a pawn up now. King to g7. e7. Queen takes on e7. Queen takes on b6. Knight to d3. Queen to a5, preventing a2. Queen to c5, very cool move. Queen to a6. If queen takes queen, knight takes on c5, and black pawn is marching. So we have queen to a6, knight to e5, queen to e6, still controlling a2 square. Black to move. What is the best move for black in this position? Please pause and find the best move for black. The best move for black, it's not that easy to find. Unless you are Karjakin or Carlsen. h5 is the best move. Well, ideally, black would like to play queen to c3. But then white keeps on checking black king. And after knight to f7, perhaps queen to a7. Okay, back to our game. h5 was played. White to move. h4 was played. If queen to b3, then queen to c1, and black is still better. Carlsen played h4. Black played a move and white resigned. Please pause the video and find the winning move that Karjakin played in this position. The move is a2. Carlsen resigned in view of this continuation. Queen takes on a2. Knight to g4 check. King to h3. Queen to g1 threatening checkmate. Queen to b2 check. King to g6. Bishop to f3, preventing queen to h2 checkmate. But now knight to f2 check, and where is the king going? After queen takes knight, queen takes queen, and we can stop here. The game. What a surprise. What do you think of this game? And that is all. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video. I wish you good luck with your chess, and bye for now.